Welcome to the Five and Dime on Where There's a Wills, There's a Play. My name's Ian, and tonight I'm going to give you my five and dime accent rights. I'm going to give you my top five flipping rights and my top 10 rolling rights. And I do have a couple honorable mentions, and I do want to say that just prior to filming this video and going on vacation, I did just receive both Cascadia rolling games as well as blueprints of Mad King Ludwig. So neither of those games or none of those games are going to appear on this list, but I'm going to follow this list up with a top 10 overall X and right list. First, on to my honorable mentions. And these are two games that do not fit into the categories of flip and right or roll and write very neatly. And I'm trying to grab them from down below here. And the first one that I'm going to mention, which is a newer game, which has quickly gone up my radar here, is Draft and Write Records. Now, while you do have cards in this game, I'm not going to talk about it too much. It is simply a drafting game, not a flip and write. And the second game in my honorable mentions is back here on this shelf, and that is Hadrian's Wall. So once again, despite the fact that there being some cards, the cards are not the part that are really you're not flipping really and writing from the card. You're flipping and gaining workers and different things from the cards, and you're using those workers in order to fill in. So those will not appear on this list because they are not flipping rights or rolling rights. So let's get to number 5. My number 5 flipping right is Next Station London. Next Station London is a flipping right where you are creating a train yard from not a train yard, but you are creating. Next Station London is a flip and write where you have 4 different stations you're starting from of 4 different colors. You flip over cards that you see, some of them with a pink top on them, and you draw starting at the train station of the corresponding color to the corresponding shape. And once you have flipped over all 5 of the pink cards, your round is over. So sometimes you may have 5 cards, sometimes you may go through all the cards. You score based on how many connection points you have in a single area. Each map is split into areas, as well as how many different areas you have gone into. And also there are points of interest and at the end game scoring, you will also score based on how many times you've connected a single spot with 2, 3, or 4 different trains. That is Next Station London. And my number 4 is Isle of Cats Explore and Draw. Isle of Cats Explore and Draw is a flip and write that you flip a grid of 4x3 cards, some from the cat deck and some from the lessons deck, I believe it is. And you will have several different things in there, and you are collecting either a single row or a single column, and you're drawing those cats or treasures onto your map, and you're gaining lessons. This is the Explore and Draw flip and write version of Isle of Cats. This one's a little lower on my flip and write list because I actually like the base game better solo. I don't know. I do like this game, but I really like the base game solo. I think it's easier to play actually solo. Not sure why. That's just how I feel about it. All right. Moving on to my number 3 overall. And my number 3 overall is Welcome To. Welcome To is a game where you are, oopsie, drawing cards, flipping cards over that have different parts of a neighborhood, pools, fences. You might be able to change the number, and you're using a number from the first column along with the back side that is next to it in the second column, and you're trying to make the best possible neighborhood. And it's a lot of fun. And there are 6 different maps that add some different variability to the game. You are also trying to fulfill little contracts in there, and you have to get certain city plans. And when you do those, you can get some bonus points. So that is Welcome To. My number 2. My number 2 is Pioneer Rails. This is a new game this year to me. It came out late last year. I did back it on Kickstarter. And this game has very quickly jumped up my list of flipping rights. I love flipping rights, rolling rights. This one is moving up quickly. In Pioneer Rails, you have a set of poker cards in the 4 main suits. Each suit is a different color. They are dual use cards. You are making a poker hand using the value of the card. It is 4 rounds of 5 cards each. But you're using the color to draw your train system in order to connect your trains in different places and gain other bonuses. I love the dual use cards. I love the maps. There's also some expansion stuff in there. So it's another really good one. That is Pioneer Rails. And my number 1 flipping right, which if you follow my channel should be of no surprise. And that is Cartographers. Cartographers is a flipping right where you are a map maker, a cartographer, and you are exploring these worlds. And there are lots of expansion maps as well for this. And you are drawing in villages and farms and lakes, and villages, farms, lakes, and forests. And you're trying to fulfill the 4 edicts that the queen has put out each season. You are scoring only 2 of them, A, B, C, and D. So in the first season, it's A and B, then it's B and C, then C and D, then D and A. And the variability in this one is just so much fun. I love playing this. I love playing this solo. I do like playing it on Board Game Arena. I did recently say in a recent 5 and Dime for the month of June that I'm not a huge fan of the ambushes in multiplayer because I just don't like being mean. But I feel like if you aren't mean, then you aren't playing the game. So that is Cartographers. And you're drawing polyomino shapes, which is really nice in this one. Really fun. So moving on. Now we're going to move on to my 10 roll-in rights. So my number 10 roll-in right is, and that keeps on jumping on me, is Catan the Dice Game, or Catan Dice Game. In Catan Dice Game, you're rolling the dice. You're trying to get certain resources in order to draw your walls or your cities or your villages, or not. I can't remember exactly what they're called, as you make your way around your map, and you earn points for doing that. Number 9. Number 9 for me is Yahtzee. Yep, an oldie but a goodie, classic. This is one of the earliest memories I have of playing games. I used to play Yahtzee with my grandma all the time when we'd go stay with her, or when we would just visit. You're rolling 5 dice. You're trying to score the most points off of individual numbers. You are trying to get 2, 3 of a kind, 4 of a kind, a small straight, which is 4 in a row, a large straight, which is all 5 in a row, a Yahtzee, which is 5 of a kind. And you're also trying to get a full house, and you just score the points. Classic game, pretty simple one, but it's still, I still love Yahtzee. Yahtzee is still a good one. My number 8. Number 8. Rolling right is Bloom. This is a game that I learned thanks to starting a board game club at school. In Bloom, you will see you have various colored dice, and you also have various colored flowers. The clear dice and the white flowers are wilds. When you roll the dice, you take the dice and you're trying to fulfill orders. If I were to take that red orange dice, I could circle 5 orange flowers, or I could use one of the wilds. You could even circle stuff that is not that color, but for every color you don't, or you for every color you circle that's not the same color, you have an unhappy customer and you lose points at the end of the game. You could also circle less, which once again is unhappy customers. You score by filling in flower beds, each section of that 3x2 overall big grid are flower beds, and also by crossing off all of the same colored flowers. So that is my number 9, Bloom. And that was actually my number 8. I did not change the number on something. That was my number 8 because my number 7 is The Gig. This is a new game this year that came out that I backed on Kickstarter. And in The Gig, you roll dice and you place them on a song in certain orders, and then you have to make those shapes on your instrument as you perform your solos. You get bonuses from it. It's a really fun game. It is a real-time game. I'm not so sure I'm crazy about the real-time part of the game because of the fact that you are really, if you're faster, you're going to beat the other person. So I think some people have started playing this as a turn-based game. The solo mode is okay. It's not great. Most of these games I do play solo. So that is The Gig. I really want to explore it more, though. It is really fun. And I think with just a couple of tweaks, I think it's going to be a really great game, and I'll get to the table a lot more. It's really quick. The songbooks are really nice. It's a really nice feel to the songbook. And on to my number 6 game. And that is Fleet the Dice Game. Fleet the Dice Game. In Fleet the Dice Game, you are rolling dice to create different things as you are shipping, as you are fishing. When you're fishing, you have 5 different boats that you can fish for. You're getting different levels of the boat, which earn you more bonuses. You're also doing some stuff in town. You can also go for the king crab, and it's just a lot of fun. This is one that I've played with my wife as well. I've taught her this one, and as you're playing, you have to collect every second round. You go fishing, and you get fish in all the boats you earned. You also, like I said, you can build different buildings in town, and that is Fleet the Dice Game. And that moves on to my number 5. And my number 5 is Three Sisters. Yes, I have Three Sisters ranked higher than Fleet the Dice Game. I like Three Sisters better. I do play this one only solo, and I do like the solo mode in this better than the 2-player mode. This is one I do plan on teaching Stacy at some point. And another game from the same company and the same designers as Fleet the Dice Game. Here you are rolling dice, and you are building up your garden. And this is based on the process of planting beans, pumpkins, and I can't remember the third one. What is the third one? Beans, pumpkins, and what is the third one? Got the box right here. Corn. So you build them, and then they help each other as they are growing. And you're planting your crops, but then once again, you're doing stuff in your shed. You're doing stuff out in the orchards. You are doing stuff with flowers, and there's a lot of combos that can really build up in here. I like this one. I like the solo mode in this one better than Fleet. I think the Farmer Edith is better. I think Captain Ruth and Fleet the dice game is a little too difficult overall. I don't like she's crossing off too much stuff, in my opinion. So, that is Fleet the dice game. And my number 4 game is Railroad Ink. I have the Deep Blue edition. Personally, I've played a couple other versions online as well. In Railroad Ink, you're rolling dice and you're building roads and you're building railways and you're trying to connect those 12 spots around the outside of the board to a single network. If you can do that, you score a lot more points. You are trying to make the really long railways and really long roads. And then you can see a couple of dark blue dice. That is the mini expansion for the river. There's also a lake expansion, which just adds some different scoring things into it. I really like this game. I've played it, like I said, on the app, and I think it's on BGA now as well. It's a really fun game, really quick to play, easy to play. That is my number 4, Railroad Ink. Moving on to my number 3. And my number 3 is Dinosaur Island Roar and Write. For the longest time, this was my number 1 roll and write. It has been surpassed this year, but it is still hanging on strong up there in the top 3. In Dinosaur Island Roar and Write, you are building a dinosaur theme park. Yeah, seems real smart, right? We've seen Jurassic Park. I'm not sure this is the best idea. You have different objectives. This is one I only play solo. You have different objectives. You're trying to build different types of dinosaurs. You have herbivores, small carnivores, large carnivores. You're trying to put rides and merchandise and food stands in, all the while trying to make sure that you have no casualties in your park. Really like the dice in this one. The dice are so nice looking in this game. And that is Dinosaur Island Roar and Write. So moving on to my number 2 overall. And my number 2 overall is Long Shot the Dice Game. This is another game that I backed on Kickstarter. This is one that I played both solo and 2-player. Love playing it 2-player. You're rolling 2 dice only. One of the dice tells you which horse you're moving, and one of them tells you how far they're moving. And then you are writing on your personal pad that you may be betting on the horses. You may be getting the jerseys or the helmets for that specific horse, which allows you to score differently and get different rewards at the end. You are also getting concessions, which allow you to combo some things in. And some of the things you can do is you can mark off actually on the horses. You can buy horses. You can mark off other numbers on horses. Each horse, when it moves another horse or a couple other horses. And when you earn certain things, you can mark off certain numbers. So let's say I bought horse number 5. I can start marking horse number 5 off on different horses when I buy the jersey, I believe it is, because then if any other horses move, then number 5 is going to move as well. So maybe I have bought number 5, and that's the one that I'm going to get a lot of points on if he wins. Really fun game, lots of variability. We've got the Kickstarter version came with 2 different horse sets besides the ones that were in there. So I think we have 6 different of each colored horse. It's a lot of fun. The solo game is also fun. There's another roll and write by this company that I forgot to mention called Roland Write. It's a roll and write about making a roll and write game. It's another one I've not got to the table yet. We'll see if it makes my top 10 overall list when I make one big list. And that brings me to my number 1 overall. And for anybody who follows my channel, this should also not be a surprise, as this is Rolling Realms. Rolling Realms is such a good game. So much variability with all of the different realms. In Rolling Realms, you play 3 rounds with 3 different realms based on real games that are inspired by real games. Some of them are inspired by the themes. Some of them are inspired by a single component of the game, a single mechanism of the game. And some of them are really completely inspired by the game overall. So in this, you're rolling 2 dice, you're placing numbers, you're earning pumpkins and coins and hearts, which allow you to manipulate things and do more each round. And you're trying to earn stars. Each realm, you earn stars different ways. Some of them you need other realms in order to earn the stars. Some of them earn the stars right on the realm. With the 11 base game realms and the, 40 some, maybe getting close to 40 some promo realms, plus in a few weeks, Rolling Realms Redux comes out with 12 new base game realms, and the fact that Stonemaier will continue making promo realms for all of their games after that. This game has unlimited variability. Plus, there is the mini golf solo mode, which I really need to revisit because I've not played it since I first got the game. And this game actually, when I first played it and played the solo mini golf mode, it didn't click with me. I was like, oh God, I really actually did not like this game. And then I found out, oh, I can just play it as a beat your own score and just try and do better and see how I do with different combos of realms. And then I started playing live with Jamie Stegmaier when he does his live games every few weeks. And the game really started moving up my list. There's also the Beyond the Realmiverse solo mode, which is a replayable 4 session campaign, which I still have to play. And then I believe Rolling Realms Redux is going to also have a new solo mode, which is not just beat your score. So Rolling Realms quickly moved up to my number 1 after really starting to get it played quite a bit. So there were my 5 and dime, my top 5 flipping rights and my top 10 rolling rights. What are your favorite flipping rights and rolling rights or overall action rights? These were mine. And like I said, I will be doing an overall top 10 action rights, which means you can probably expect to see some of the games that have not made this list. Hadrian's Wall, quite possibly going to be on there. Draft and Write Records, quite possibly on there. Like I said, I also got Cascadia rolling in, both of them, and I got Blueprints of Mad King Ludwig. So I will make sure I get all those played before I do my overall top 10. So this list, some of these may jostle around, and some of those will move up ahead of these overall. If you want to see more, please hit that subscribe button so you can be notified when I post more videos. If you want to see more of our 5 and dimes, you can click the link up above, and you can also follow the other link to see other videos. Once again, this has been Where There's a Wheels, There's a Play. My name's Ian, and I'll see you next time at the table.